again. See you again.
Hey guys, welcome back. So today we are working on the NA Miata. If you saw the last video, you saw that it's absolutely dumping water out the bottom. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the water pump. I think it's just the water pump gasket that's bad, but I don't want to replace it and have to redo the timing and everything to just have to replace it again shortly if the water pump fails. So we're just gonna do the whole thing and get it done. Ta-da, I did things. Okay. Now, I think I'm gonna start working on the thermostat and friends. Just like that's gonna be easy. I'm gonna try and do this as minimally invasive as possible. That's my goal here. The car just ran, so there's a little bit of oil everywhere. Don't freak out. We are gonna set this thing to top dead center, have it ready to go right away. All right, spark plugs. Let's get it. All right, we're gonna attempt to find top dead center here. So, let's, a little more. Oh, that was it. Let's go back. Almost there, just fine tuning top dead center. Okay, a click back, boom. I think that's it. I'm pretty confident. Okay, so I took this little plastic cover off. I'm not gonna lie, I've not been filming because I'm so nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous about this, but I am. Anywho, I think I could actually access this just by taking this plastic off, and I might be okay, which is like 2 bolts. And if I can do that, I will be happy because you know what? Your girl has experience with Mini Coopers. I should be able to work in tight places. If you haven't gathered, I am a lazy person that actually makes things harder for myself. So I'm not taking any of this off. I think I'll be fine. I did lock the cams, so we should be good on that front, but I do have to pull these out in order to take out the water pump, which I'm kind of bummed about, not gonna lie. That's okay. That's the most stressful part for me, just messing up the timing, but the good news is it's fairly easy to check if it can't turn over. I'm just gonna try and be very, very careful and try not to slip anything. Okay, so you can clearly see we have a good leak coming right out of that water pump. So we're definitely in the right spot. I apologize for the video cutting off earlier. My phone storage was full, so had to delete some stuff. Okay, I think this is the last bolt holding on this water pump. Alright, letting it drain a little bit. Putting a screwdriver in here to like pop it out. Let's try and not get caught on the timing belt. Stay there, stay here. Alright, well, she's old, that's for sure. Okay, there we go. Old pump is out, and it makes sense why it was leaking because that gasket is morphed into the pump. Crusty. am a lazy person, and I can accept that and acknowledge that about who I am. With that being said, I wanted to take off as minimal as possible to do this, so that's what I did. With that being said, I've tried to be extra cautious, and maybe this cost me extra work and extra time, but this was actually very quick and not that difficult. So, water pump is back in, bolts are tightened down, it's looking good. Now I'm gonna get these two little pulleys, or whatever you want to call them, and put them back in. The hardest part, I think now, is going to be getting the spring back in. So I think I'm gonna start with that, to be honest. I think what I'm gonna do is actually attach the spring to the pulley side and then attach the spring to the water pump. I think that's the best course of action here.
I've been asked to join in and hold the camera, so I'm holding the camera. Not holding it quite right.
There you go.
Here, let's see here.
You can hold it.
Yeah, I'm holding this thing perfect.
Wow.
All right, this is a car channel. Focus on the car. Yeah.
I don't know why he's licking the wall. Like,
Sure. Now it actually shows you. Yeah. All right. That is the extent of my filming abilities. Okay. And I'm gonna go back to work on the other one.
what's happening?
Which, if you don't know, oh, that's me. Somebody, not naming names, has a whole other car that I refuse to acknowledge that I own. Every video and picture of it ever is from
You don't acknowledge that you own any of it.
that one. Yeah, I don't own anything. I don't do anything.
It's actually only
This is the most I'll ever be on the internet. Thank you, YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. That is back to where we're supposed to be.
Okay, so I'm at a pretty good stopping point now. Let me try and walk you through what I did, because I just had a bunch of problems with the memory, so I didn't get to take as many videos as I'd like. But let me walk you through what I did, because I'm lazy and I'm not willing to pull everything off, even if it makes my life a little harder in the long run. I don't know how to explain this. Like, I didn't want to retime the engine, so I wanted to take off as minimal as possible. So even if that made the job a little more difficult, I was willing to do it because it meant I had to take off less. I don't know, I have like a weird sense of laziness, but whatever. Anywho, so to do that, I took off the valve cover, left the spark plugs and coil pack, took off the intake, left the radiator, left this thermostat housing, left all of the, there's not all of the accessories, the only accessory is the alternator. So I left the alternator, took off the coolant pump pulley, disconnected that, took off all the plastics on the timing belt cover, because this is my first belt I've ever had to do. Took off all the plastics on the timing belt. Once I got those removed, I just took off all the bolts that are attached to the water pump. And if you already have the new one ready to go, it's really easy to figure out where those are. There's gonna be two on the sides for the inlet here. They're little 12s. And then there's some 14s on the front that hold two pulleys there. And then there's a handful more, I believe they're also 12s. Mine was leaking out the back because look at that crusty dusty gasket and that crusty dusty gasket. So we were due. So that's done. The pump was still working, but I would rather just replace the pump if I'm in there. So fairly easy. I mean, this was like, I don't know how long I've been doing this, because granted, I really didn't watch a video before this. I skimmed a couple videos and I was like, they look like they're doing too much and everybody's doing their timing belt and whatnot. And I already know that this car has recently had some work done with the timing because the timing was advanced. So I think it was all done then, and this is totally irrelevant to that. And so I don't think I need to do all that. And I just did the valve cover, so I don't need to do that. So I just needed to skip a lot of the steps and just do this, which it is possible. The biggest trick with this, as far as if you're not going to take anything off like I did, is getting this back in. You really, because I didn't pull off the timing belt either. I did lock the timing to be safe, and I did check the timing again, now that it's all together. I did check the timing. But the biggest key was slipping this behind the belt and then having to get it low enough to pop it up under the timing up there. Or not the timing, but like, there's a little guy right here. You'll see when you open it up. But there's a guy right here that he has to slide under and go up into to like sit properly. That's the hardest part, is getting the one out, with, especially if you're not removing the belt like me, if you're lazy like me. Trying to get the old one out and get the new one in. That was the hardest part. The rest of it, pretty easy. I totally worked myself up before doing this job and made myself super anxious. Like, I can't do this. What if I need to retime the engine, blah, blah, blah. I've literally timed more modern engines than this and had no problem. So I don't know what my problem was. If I even had to time this, it would have been fine. But I didn't. I locked the timing with wrenches. So we were good there. Timing stayed well. And like, once again, I did go back and I checked the timing. So I think it's all good. I'm gonna get back to this in the morning, wrap it up, get it started, bleed it, and hopefully we're good. And hopefully we'll be good for the track day. The only thing that came in the water pump kit that I don't know where it went and I couldn't find one was this O-ring. I didn't see an O-ring anywhere. I don't see one on that pump. I don't see one on any of the other parts I took off. So either I skipped a step that they wanted me to do, or this is irrelevant. Either way, it's not on there. So let's hope that doesn't leak. Well, I'll catch you guys in the morning to wrap this up. John has been making Texas Roadhouse rolls all morning because we don't live near Texas Roadhouse and we love Texas Roadhouse rolls. So how far are we from baking?
Working on it. Homeownership is crazy. Never ever thought I'd have to buy a rolling pin. I used canola. Let's give you cancer. We gotta get something better than this.
All right, day 2, we're back, and today we're gonna wrap up this water pump job. And of course, you know, it had to be pouring rain today, which was obviously such a big inconvenience because I had to walk from the house to the shop, and it's just such a long walk. Anyways, let's get to it. There's not much left. I just need to put the air intake back and get like one of the radiator hoses installed, and then I should be able to bleed it, and fingers crossed all as well. So, yay. Okay, so full transparency, I did this job yesterday, and I thought that I was just coming to wrap this up right now, and it's still leaking. And it was for the reason that I was concerned about it re-leaking, which was the gasket wouldn't seal right, and the gasket did not seal right. So I guess we will walk through what I'm doing again, maybe a little better. I don't know. I'm so bummed right now. So I have the valve cover off, I have the cams locked, I have it at top dead center. Now I need to take off these 2 pulleys here. And then after that, take off all the bolts and pull the water pump out. So same job for you, it's just my water pump is new. So let's try and get this done. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. There's our freaking seal that I was worried about. Okay, so after several times of taking this thing apart, it is finally all wrapped up, put together, and runs. So, yay. Okay, so I kind of thought this video was gonna go in the way of I messed up the timing and now I gotta retime the engine because I didn't lock it properly. But no, it's fine. It's running perfectly fine. I just forgot a vacuum line. So I'm not a complete idiot when it comes to locking the timing, but I am a complete idiot when it comes to installing vacuum lines, apparently. So good news is it's not up. Bad news is I missed a day for no reason. All right, so that is a wrap on the water pump job. Thank goodness we are finally done and we can finally take this car on track, which is good because we have Rev Up coming up this weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.